Hi everyone. Now this video is in regards to one question that I receive every day, every week, and it's been happening for months now. And it's regards to the selection of brokers. Many of you are also asking if I would name the brokers that I use. Now, first of all, I want you guys to clearly know why I have held a policy of not recommending brokers. One is that even though the ones that I trade with, some of the ones that I have in Australia, the regulation that they offer is only for Australian citizens. I've checked this out with ASIC. It actually says it on the broker websites as well. So if they decide to play up with you, and I have no guarantees that they won't play up with you, because when you are outside of the jurisdiction of that the regulatory body, then the broker can certainly, yes, play up. Now, despite that, when I have mentioned this to a number of people, they still continue to press on in asking me about which brokers I do use. Now, my reservation has entirely been about where I will feel horrible if I do say to you, go ahead and use this broker, when, say for instance, they will either treat you badly or you're going to have some sort of issue with them down the track where they don't pay out, or possibly even the account manager is a horrible person. Now, look, I have been frustrated because of the continual questions about brokers, to a point where some people just continue pressing on, even though I've said, look, here's the reason why, and then go out and please do your research in regards to regulatory bodies. Part of the reason why I'm creating this video is I want your consensus on something, and the question really is that, do you guys want me to do some research and then shortlist a group of brokers that will cover Europe? Well, the US possibly won't. There has been a number of people from India. Certainly here in Australia, I can make the recommendations for Aussies, and anywhere else in the world. So if you guys want me to do this, to do some research and then create a video and name the brokers and give you reasons why, or the research that I've done in regards to them and the reasons why they've made it onto my shortlist. If you want me to do that, then please comment under this video, just so that I know. And the reason why I'm doing this right now, besides the thousands of those questions, is that a number of people have gone away from me saying, guys, do your research in regards to one that's regulated in your country, and then they've gone ahead without doing any research, jumped onto one of the websites or one of the scammers on Facebook who's just trying to bootleg commissions off their broker affiliation links, and then what they've found is that the account managers are playing around with their accounts. So on one hand, I don't want to make recommendations, but on another hand, I don't want you guys walking away and then falling into this hole. I've had one person today that's lost $2,000 because they went ahead, instead of doing their own research, they went ahead, just listened to some other Tom, Dick, and Harry on Facebook, and then lost a couple of grand. I've had two people earlier in the week. One person lost 700. Another one ended up, I think, wiping out 250 because something the account manager did. So again, I ask of you that if you guys certainly want me to do a list, please get back to me in regards to that. Now, here's the thing though. Once I do my research, I'm going to present to you, if you enough of you guys say, yes, this is what you want, I'm going to present to you a list of brokers from different parts of the world that will have different degrees of regulation. I will present to you most likely, and it may take a little while, because what I would do when I'm researching them is where I will contact some of these, including some of the brokers that I personally use right now. I would want a dedicated account manager. So, for example, if there's 100 of you that say, or 100 Aussies right now that say, okay, Shiva, we're going to go with the few brokers that you're using here in Australia. Well, what I will ask these brokers is that if anyone contacts you and says, I've come through Shiva Krishnan, then I want this person to be the one that is the account manager on your account. And the reason for that is this, that if they play around with you at any point in time, then you can let me know and I can jump on the phone and have a chat with these people and sort them out. Okay, that's the only way, because my biggest concern, guys, is besides you guys being ripped off, it's where if my name gets associated with something, I want the absolute best, whether it be in service, whether it be in quality, because the last thing I want is where someone somewhere bootlegs something with my name involved in it, and then that results in loss or even just a complete bad experience. Even if the broker is paying you out your withdrawals, but the account manager is an absolute asshole. I don't want that. So unless I come up with a dedicated account manager, also ease of platform, use of platform, that sort of stuff, that is massive. I do want an FSG, which is a financial services guide, which outlines a very clear dispute resolution process. Many of you have not listened to the advice I've given in relation to how to select um, uh, binary options brokers. I have had one person that I've seen on Facebook right today that has spoken about a forex broker who has now come up with a binary options facility. Now, this guy on it mentioned that this company is regulated by FCA, which is the UK regulator. Um, Here's the thing though, FCA don't regulate binary options products. So when then I went in and did some research on this on their site, um, I discovered this guy, what he was doing was simply bootlegging his affiliate link. Now, that's all good and well. I'm not saying that he's doing anything wrong. I'm sure that he's tested out the platform and he thought it was great. But here's the thing, I mean, when he said to me on there that this is regulated by FCA, it's not. The company is, certainly, and the forex operations are, but binary options is not a product that FCA regulate. And when I jumped onto the website, it's clearly stated on there. So it does not mean that this company is going to treat you well or guarantee you payouts with binary options. It will mean that they are more liquid than other binary options providers out there simply because they have the forex operations there. It also means that chances are they won't treat you so badly or mess around with your accounts simply because these guys have an FCA license with their forex brokerage to maintain. Okay, so if they wanted to mess with you, what they might have done was create a separate business with a separate a company name or something along those lines. So there's the possibility of that. Okay, so a lot of people, though, still are not researching. They will just jump onto something that someone says. The last issue that I have had is that many people, I know, guys, I'm sharing a lot of information for free. And so a lot of people are looking at that and saying, hey, Shiva's an honest guy, and so I'm going to follow anything he says. Where I'm trying to get all of you to is not to follow me, but to follow yourselves. Is to start thinking freely for what's in your best interest. I think I've shared this little story with you. My little 10-year-old nephew right now is someone that I call my guru. The reason for that is at one point he was over at my place and he woke up late. I made him some breakfast and he's sitting on the couch and I'm saying to him, Keegan, get up, go have breakfast. And he turns and looks at me and he goes, what's in it for me? And that from that moment it changed my life because I thought, hey, I'm offering you food that's going to fill your stomach. You won't be hungry anymore, and you're asking me what's in it for me. That's exactly how I want you guys to think. I want you to think as to what is in your best interest. I'm sharing this information knowing all too well You don't get this anywhere else. No one will do all of these things. So I want you to take that and say, okay, I'm going to take this information, and then I'm going to make whatever I want in my life to happen. But many of you guys are not actually doing that, and one of the fears I have is like if I say to you, hey, in one of my videos, I know many of you seen it, where I did do some live. I think it was the EMA6 video, where I did some $5 trades on a big option account. A lot of you went ahead then jumped onto and signed up with Big Option. Big Option isn't a very good broker in terms of withdrawals and handling and dealing and all of that sort of stuff. Just because though that I had it there is what many of you have followed, but Big Option is not one of my major accounts. That is more of like a demo account with live money in it. So if I'm testing out different strategies, if I want to do that in a live environment, I probably will go on there. Okay, but it's not one of those accounts that I would hold a lot of money in, simply because that's not what I'd like to do. I want my money in safe places. So again, to prevent you guys going ahead and jumping into brokerages that are terrible, let me know if you would like me to go ahead, research, shortlist different brokerages in different countries and different locations around the world, and then present to you guys the regulation that they have, not just being listed with the regulator. There's a difference between that. I know many of you have written to me about different brokers that have, and you say they're licensed, but in actual fact they're not licensed. They're just listed with the regulator. It's a different thing entirely. The other thing is that many of the European brokers that do exist out there, yes, they will show you licensing, but when you take a closer look, those licenses are actually gambling licenses. They're not financial services licenses. Okay, so yes, many of you have been duped by that. Dedicated account manager platform, dispute resolution processes, things like that, and also guarantees of zero manipulation. I've had a couple of guys that have emailed me today who have constantly been trying to figure out if there is some degree of manipulation between MT4 platform brokers and whatever else. And initially I thought they were talking about the spreads on an MT4 depending on the feed and then your broker. And I kept saying to them, look at the candle itself, because the prices will be different between different platforms. But where he was trying to get to was to say, even on the candle, if his matching entry, what he's finding is that within the last few seconds, something happens with the price on his broker, which always then pushes him down to lose a trade. So he's been losing by like very, very quick, very short, like micro pips, that sort of stuff. So again, here's the question to all of you, because if I do this, I'm going to be doing it and I'm going to put a lot of time back into it, is to say, yes, that this is what you want me to do. If it's a yes, I also want you to comment with not just a yes, but also where in the world you are. So list your country. That way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the comments. If I see, say, for example, a lot of people from Italy, then or 5 or more people from Italy, then what I will do is I'll make more of an effort to find out who the regulator is in Italy, try and get in touch with them, try and find a broker that's there, and a broker that holds a local bank account. This is extremely important, guys, okay? Part of the reason why some of the Australian regulated brokers that I do utilize is when I am depositing money into a brokerage here in Australia, I know the bank, the Australian bank in which they hold their funds. Okay, so all of that is quite important to know, because there are so many brokers out there that when you actually are depositing, they don't have a local bank in their country. So there's no point, even when you say, hey, they've got SISEC regulation, that to me means nothing. It's you've got almost zero recourse there. SISEC probably won't do anything. And some of the financial services ombudsman stuff, if you get in touch with them, they'll probably first ask you where your country of residence is. And if, say, like for example, here in Australia, the regulator here will not cover anyone that is not an Australian citizen or a resident for that matter. Okay, so if you're in another country and you say, hey, these brokers are great, well, they are for me, but they may not be for you because you don't have the regulatory cover. You won't have the ability to contact my financial service ombudsman here in Australia and say, hey, this company screwed me. Hope that makes sense to you guys. So if again, you do want this, drop your country and a yes in the comment section. And what I will do, I'll probably the rest of this month, I'll busy myself in shortlisting the best brokers that I can find, the ones that have responded back and I've had a satisfactory conversation with them over the phone and they've been able to confirm the regulation and confirm how they are practicing. Then and only then will I approve that and then possibly create a video of all the evidence that I've found in relation to why I think they are a safe broker. Having said that, even after doing that, what I'm going to do is this. If you guys promise to me that you will then visit those sites, the ones that relate to you, your country of residence as such, you visit those sites and you do your own research again on them, be comfortable with what it is that they're offering you. You make certain promises to me that you will not accept bonuses, you will not accept insured trades, you will not say yes to the account managers when they're saying to you, I'm going to trade for you and deposit $5,000 because they guarantee you $1 million in a month, that sort of stuff. And then you are going to take this and say, I'm going to treat it like a genuine business. Then only then will I do something along these lines. Okay? Because guys, it's my free time that I'm going to be giving. There's a lot of work that goes on behind all of this. I do want you guys to take this information and I want you to make something out of it. Okay? There's a lot of people that I get upset with because the information I'm sharing here is exactly what I use to make myself money. It's priceless. I then see people that say, hey, Shiva, that's too much hard work for me to spend a month or two trying to learn. I'd rather go jump in someone's group, pay them $200 a month, and make only 60 or 70% in the money returns. I don't understand the mentality behind that. Some of these people that are saying this to me, they've gone to college for 4 years to study a vocation. And I'm saying you can't study for 2 months and then be able to learn a ability, a skill to be able to make yourself maybe a couple of $100,000 a year. Even the simplicity of Forex, of how I approach that, is that too difficult? Just a couple of months to say I'm going to learn something so simple that might be able to make me $5,000 a week. But I will go and go to college and do a 4-year degree, studying something that's only going to pay me maybe 50, 60, maybe maximum $100,000 a year. Guys, change your mindset. Get your mind away from all of that. Also, with brokerages, don't just ask people, hey, what is it that you use? Because I'm saying this to you now from experience. If I have a brokerage, there's ways that I handle them. Doesn't necessarily mean that those account managers are going to treat you in the same regard. Okay, so again, final time I'm stating the question. I'd like a consensus on this. Don't please just watch this and click like or dislike. Please put a message down. Let me know if this is what you want me to do and let me know where you are in the world. And so if I get enough people from different locations, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start researching in your country of residence first to see what you have, and I will actually put down all the information and all the degree of recourse that you have as well. Okay. In addition to anything else that you think you would like to know from them, beyond what I have here and beyond anything I've said, certainly put that down in the comment section as well, and I'll address that when I can. Okay. I think that's all that I needed to cover for the time being. Cheers, guys.